I've got the latest kits from Rips Up by the Roll. They're Dyneema roll tops stuffed bags, and this is the medium size, and it's really kind of cool because you can get, you know, all these different, the whole Pantone collection of colors, and so you can pick whatever color you want. This is the medium bag, and in the medium bag, I've got my whole puffy coat in here, so that's my whole puffy. That's a nice size for that. It's waterproof. This is the small size, and in here I've got a pair of smart little sleep socks, some liners, my darn stuff, ankles, and extra ex-official lawn underwear. So that's how big that is, and that's how big that is. In this video, I'm going to do the small bag. Now in the small kit bag, you get a pre-cut, really cool. This is their printed Dyneema. It's really kind of nice because both sides are pretty close. This color, by the way, is Pantone T2746C. You know, they've got every color out there. It's really fun. So when you get a pre-cut piece of Dyneema, you get some grosgrain for your buckle system, and you get a nice little buckle system. It's nice. That's even smaller than the one I got for the other one, so it's kind of, you proportioned it out for the size. And you get some of this heavier ribbed webbing. That's for adding some rigidity to the opening. You get some one-sided kind of Dyneema repair tape, and that's for water sealing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off basically the selvage edge on it, especially since it's such a dark color. If I have that bleed over at all, then it's going to look funky. So let's get to cutting. Now with cutting, I got these scissors from Costco. They're titanium Scotch scissors, and they seem to work pretty well with the Dyneema. First thing I want to do is figure out which side you want on the outside. This side is a little more shiny. This side's a little more heavy on the color. So the first thing you need to do is actually fold it the other way, as we're going to do everything on the inside first. What's nice about Dyneema is that it actually creases really well and holds that crease. And we're gonna sew right along here. I got this little 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive Cuban fiber tape, it's just a double-sided, and I use that a lot when I'm working with Cuban fiber. You can use clamps to help you out. I just find this a lot easier for me to use, just to hold things together, and then it adds a little bit of waterproofing. So I'm going to add this along this side here. So I'm going to do a 1/4 inch hem on that, and like on my little foot here, I've got lines there and there. That would be a little too far, so I'm going to line it up with that. I will bring it in a little bit ways, and then I'll back up to the edge. Drop my needle down, and I haven't really heard much about stitch length on the Cuban fiber anywhere. You have fibers all the way across here, so I would guess that you would be able to do like a standard stitch length, so it's not like a ripstop. So we're gonna go a little slow to begin with, back it up. Now I will keep it right along that edge right there. Get to the end, I'm gonna go slow. And lock stitch. Now, if anybody has any insight on stitch length, that would be great. Now what I'll do is I will flatten this out so we have that stitch going right down the middle. Somewhere right about there. make a rough measurement. That's about right. And it doesn't have to be, it's not life or death. So I'm going to flatten that down. Love how it just kind of creases. And now we're going to close up the bottom of the bag down here with a stitch. And we'll find that same spot on my zipper foot. Maybe that far. Right about there. Put my needle down. Now we're going to seam seal. We're going to measure out some of our seam seal tape. The seam seal is such cool stuff. It has like double-sided tape with some Cuban fiber, or Dyneema, I always say Cuban fiber, already on it. I'm just going to go right along, seal up that, and make it watertight. We just take these tag ends and flip them around on that side. And on this side, you don't want to flip it around. You want to open it up first, and then you can bring it around and press it in real good. And we're going to do the same on the bottom. This stuff is just a pain. I find if I put it down on a table and kind of rub it with my fingernail, I can get it started, but it's really, really difficult to get it going. Now we'll put half on, covering those stitches. Kind of tapping it into place. We'll fold it over. Stuff is sticky. Trim that off. Don't cut into the Dyneema at all. I'll just leave a little tag in there. Okay, so now we've got it all water sealed up. Press down on the tape. Now we turn it inside out. Now we're going to put our heavier ribbed type webbing. You want it just as wide as you can go, but you don't want to go any further. So I'm going to cut mine right there. That dot. Fuse the ends. So you want this to go on the inside, and you want it to be up next to the tape. We are going to sew that on, and what we're going to do is just put a center line in, because we're going to be sewing it again and again. Some really nice helpful things is to take a Sharpie. I like these silver Sharpies, and you can make little spots at your folds on the inside and the out, and that will help you line things up. Now we're going to be sewing on the inside, so you have to kind of open this up the hole and put this rigid piece in there. What I do is I start in the middle. I'm going to be sewing right down the middle of this piece, and I'm going to start a few inches back just to help me out. It's just kind of how I've learned how to do all this stuff. Why am I zigzagging? So we're going to go right down the middle, do a lock stitch. Now you want to make sure that you keep this edge and the edge of the fabric in line with each other. We're just going to go right down the middle. Then we're going to kind of pull it around, kind of manhandle it a little bit. Keep sewing. Now I'll go back just because this is easier for me to do it this way, and then sew down this tail end that I didn't sew. So it's kind of an extra step, but old men, we have to find our little tricks. We got that sewn down the middle on the inside. Now we're going to roll it in toward the middle, and we're going to be sewing all the way around the bag. So we're going to put that hem all the way around, even where the webbing isn't. Okay, then we're going to roll that one more time to the middle. Make it nice and tight. And we're going to go all the way around the bag, making that same width fold over. We're going to be sewing all the way around the bag. Now we've got it folded over twice. So now we want to sew once down the edge, not into the bag, right on the webbing, and then right along there. So we're going to do around the inside first. It's better to start that needle off a little bit if you're not sure. If I go over this a little bit. There we go. That's as close as I want to get to the edge. Forward a few. And then as it goes around, you just pull this part out. So you're not, and you sew all the way around. And grab it. Nice. So now you're sewing around, but there's no webbing there. You eventually come back to the webbing. You're going to do the same thing, but now on the outside of the webbing. Stitch. Now we're going to take our piece of grosgrain and fold it in half and cut it. We're going to singe the ends. Now these clips actually have a right way and a wrong way. I don't know if you can see that, but that side's it tapers down. It will go together that way, but it's wrong. So take a good look at it. On this side you have like the maker's mark, and on this side it's nice and smooth. And so when you do your buckles, really you want to have them so when you put them together, they come together the right direction. So take a good look at your buckle. What I do is take grosgrain and stick it through. We'll stick it through so it's halfway on either side, like that. And we're going to do a little bar tack as close as we can. For this, I'm going to get rid of my standard foot and put it on my zipper foot because I can get a lot closer with my zipper foot. And I have two sides, but this is a side on this side where I can get really close. So I'm going to do this with one hand. I'll lift that up, and I want to try and get it as close as I can to that buckle, but still be able to go back and forth and sew. So that looks good. We're going to go slow, reverse it back over it. That's good. We're going to sew over that same spot again, so we don't need to go crazy. That's just enough to hold it in place. Now we're going to sew the buckles onto the outside of the pack on the same side as the hard webbing. So we want to have it butt right up against the outside of the webbing there. Let's see. So I'm going to make another mark. Now we want to, now I'm going to take that little, where it says where it's made from, I'm going to put that face down. And we want to sew that right at the edge of the webbing. So you find your spot where the edge of the webbing is, which is right there. So now we've got this right on the edge of the webbing, and the webbing's going the long way this way. Got my needle down. So this is all the heavy webbing here. Now I'm going to just tack this onto that webbing. Same kind of thing, bar tack it. And I'm not sewing through the other part of the bag. So here's the other part of the bag. I've got that clear out of the way. We go down to this end, and if they've come off kilter a little bit, I can trim it down at this point, get them even again. Cinch that up again. Now we're going to bar tack down here, as close to the end as we can get, still on that webbing piece. Drop the needle down. So here I've got, see, the other part of the mouth is open. I'm not going to sew down and close off the mouth. Leave that needle in. I'm going to leave that needle in, and now I'm going to make my diagonal, make sure nothing's underneath it. I'm just going to aim, I'm just going to find a good aim to that side, flatten everything down, come all the way down and make kind of an X. This is the first half of the X. do, I'm going to do the other side of the X. I'm just going to aim for this spot and do a lock stitch though this time. Lock stitch. Okay, so there we have the 2 bar tacks and the X. Now I'm going to do that to the other side, but I'm going to make sure that it's the same orientation that I did. And you'll get it when you see the orientation of those clips. And the actual like 10 centimeters, almost like, let's just say 10 inches, 10 centimeters by maybe 7.5, 8 in a circle for that one. This is roughly 6.5 by say 8.5. All right, for thanks for hanging around. A few quick notes is when you're doing the mouth, you're going to be sewing on the inside of the mouth, so you got to have that whole mouth part open. You don't want to ever sew the mouth together, so you never want to be sewing through both of those. So you're really working that apart. So it takes a little bit of manhandling. Make sure you get your clasps the right direction. I mean, it's not, they'll work both ways, but yeah, that worked out pretty good. Nice little bag. Don't know quite what I'll do with it. Right, you know, I do have like actually what I would put in there: my sleep socks, my extra socks, and my extra underwear, and they're waterproof. So, all right, great, easy project, inexpensive. Your experience with working with Dyneema fabric, which is a lot of fun. Being able to pick the colors and all that's great. So, okay, see you later on the trail. Bye now.